Hey there, sports fans and curious minds. Welcome to another episode where we explore the wild and wonderful world of athletics. Today, we're diving into the realm of unusual sports that you've probably never heard of. Forget football and basketball. We're talking about competitions so bizarre and fascinating that you won't believe they actually exist. From cheese rolling to extreme ironing, these sports push the boundaries of what we consider athletic competition. So sit back and prepare to discover your new favorite obscure sport. Our first unusual sport comes from Cooper's Hill in Gloucester, England. It's called cheese rolling, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Each year, daredevils gather at the top of an extremely steep hill. At the signal, a 9-pound wheel of double Gloucester cheese is released down the slope, and competitors chase after it. The first person to reach the bottom wins the cheese. Sounds simple, right? Well, not when you consider that the hill has a gradient of 1 to 2 in some places, and competitors reach speeds of up to 70 miles per hour as they tumble, roll, and crash their way down. Injuries are so common that there are usually more medical staff than competitors. Broken bones, concussions, and sprains are typical souvenirs from this chaotic event. Yet year after year, hundreds of people from around the world come to risk life and limb for a wheel of cheese. The tradition dates back over 200 years, and despite attempts to shut it down for safety reasons, locals continue to organize this bizarre and dangerous competition. Next up is Kabaddi, a contact sport from the Indian subcontinent that's gaining global popularity but remains unknown to many Westerners. Two teams face off on a court. A raider from one team enters the opposing team's half, chants Kabaddi, 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 continuously in a single breath, and tries to touch opponents before returning to their own half. The twist? They have to do all this without taking another breath. If the raider succeeds in touching an opponent and returning, their team gains a point, and the touched opponents are out. If the defenders manage to hold the raider until they take a breath, the defenders win a point. It requires an incredible combination of lung capacity, strength, agility, and strategic thinking. The sport has been played for thousands of years in India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Pakistan, and now has professional leagues with millions of viewers. What makes Kabaddi fascinating is how it combines primal, tag-like gameplay with sophisticated team strategy and physical endurance. Moving to Finland, we find the unusual sport of wife carrying, or Kanto. Male competitors race through an obstacle course while carrying a female teammate. The course is about 250 meters long and includes water obstacles and barriers. The fastest time wins, with the prize traditionally being the wife's weight in beer. The carrying techniques vary, but the most popular is the Estonian style, where the woman hangs upside down on the man's back with her legs wrapped around his neck. Not the most dignified position, but definitely the most efficient. The World Championships have been held annually in Sonkajärvi, Finland since 1992, but the sport's roots go back to the 19th century. Legend has it that the sport was inspired by a local robber named Herkko Rosvo Ronkainen, who tested potential gang members by having them run an obstacle course with stolen women on their backs. Today, participants don't need to be married. Any man can carry any woman, as long as she's over 17 years old and weighs at least 49 kilograms. If she's lighter, she carries additional weight to meet the minimum. Now let's travel to Southeast Asia for Sepak Takraw, essentially volleyball, but played with the feet instead of hands. Teams of 3 face off across a net similar to volleyball or badminton. Players use their feet, knees, chest, and head to touch the ball, but never their hands. The objective is to keep the rattan ball from touching the ground on your side of the court. What makes this sport truly spectacular is the acrobatic moves players perform. Imagine bicycle kicks from soccer, but as a standard move rather than a rare spectacle. Players regularly perform full flips to spike the ball over the net. Sepak Takraw has been played for over 500 years across Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines. It requires incredible flexibility, coordination, and aerial awareness. While still unfamiliar to most Western audiences, international competitions now attract teams from around the world, and there's a growing movement to include it in future Olympic Games. Our final unusual sport is perhaps the most peculiar of all: extreme ironing. Yes, you heard that right. It combines the thrill of an extreme outdoor activity with the satisfaction of a well-pressed shirt. Competitors take an ironing board and iron to remote, dangerous, or unusual locations, and iron items of clothing. Extreme ironing has been performed underwater, while skydiving, on mountaintops in the middle of busy highways, while skiing, and even while surfing. Points are awarded for both the quality of ironing and the extremity of the location. The sport began in 1997 in Leicester, England, when Phil Shaw came home tired after a long day of work but still needed to do his ironing. He decided to combine the chore with his love of rock climbing, and thus a bizarre new sport was born. The first Extreme Ironing World Championships were held in 2002 in Valley, Bavaria, with competitors from 10 nations. The German team took home the gold that year. This tongue-in-cheek sport perfectly captures the human desire to find challenge and competition in even the most mundane activities. And there you have it. 5 unusual sports that prove humans will compete in just about anything. From risking serious injury for cheese to pressing clothes in absurd locations, the world of sports is far more diverse and eccentric than what you'll find on mainstream TV. Remember, the Joyletics Uwe are often the most fun to watch, but even better to share. So smash that like button and tag a friend who needs to see this.